Subscribe to Dr. Khalkar's Classroom channel and press the bell icon to get latest updates. Hello everyone, I hope you are doing great. In my previous lecture video, I have discussed about unit number 4, semiconductor physics. In this lecture video, I will discuss about unit number 5, magnetism and superconductivity. So let's get started. First topic, magnetism. The content of this lecture video is as follows. First of all, I will discuss about introduction to magnetism, followed by I will discuss about history of magnets, magnetic field and magnetism. In Greece, roughly 4,000 years ago, a Greek shepherd named Magnes is a mythological figure, possibly based on a real person, who lived in Magnesia in Greece. Magnes was herding his sheep through the mountains. Suddenly he noticed the ferrule or a cap of his stick and nails in his sandals got stuck to a rock. The iron in his stick and the nails had become attracted to the magnetic rock. The stone was named as magnetite after the name of the shepherd or the country it was found in. It was also known as lodestone because of its attractive properties. The illustration of Magnes, the shepherd, from a 19th century text is shown in figure number 1. Magnetism was first discovered in the ancient world when people noticed that lodestones, naturally magnetized pieces of the mineral magnetite, could attract iron. The ancient Indian medical text Sushruta Samhita describes using magnetite to remove arrows embedded in a person's body. Lodestone, a natural magnet attracting iron's nails. Ancient humans discovered the property of magnetism from the lodestone, which is shown in this figure. Magnetism is a class of physical phenomena that are mediated by magnetic fields. Electric currents and the magnetic movements of elementary particles give rise to a magnetic field which acts on other currents and magnetic movements. Magnetism is one aspect of the combined phenomena of electromagnetism. The most familiar effects occurs in ferromagnetic materials, which are strongly attracted by magnetic fields and can be magnetized to become permanent magnets, producing magnetic fields themselves. Demagnetizing a magnet is also possible. Only a few substances are ferromagnetic. The most common ones are iron, cobalt, and nickel and their alloys. The prefix ferro refers to iron because permanent magnetism was first observed in the lodestone, a form of natural iron ore called magnetite, that is Fe3O4. In figure number 3, a magnetic quadrupole is shown. Now let's see magnetic field. Magnetic fields are produced by electric currents, which can be macroscopic currents in wires or microscopic currents associated with electrons in atomic orbits. The magnetic field, represented by capital B, is defined in terms of force on moving charge in the Lorentz force law. The interaction of magnetic field with charge leads to many practical applications. Magnetic field sources are essentially dipolar in nature, having a north and south magnetic pole. The SI unit of magnetic field is the Tesla. A smaller magnetic field unit is the Gauss. Therefore, in these units, 1 Tesla is equal to 10,000 Gauss. Now let's see magnetic field of current, that is current in wire. The magnetic field lines around a long wire which carries an electric current form concentric circles around the wire. The direction of magnetic field is perpendicular to the wire and is in the direction of the fingers of your right hand would curl if you wrapped them around the wire with your thumb in the direction of the current. The magnetic field of current and that current in wire is represented in this diagram. in which capital I is a electric current and capital B is a magnetic field. Now let's see magnetic field of current loop, that is the loop of wire. Examining the direction of the magnetic field produced by a current carrying segment of wire shows that all parts of the loop contribute magnetic field in the same direction inside the loop. Electric current in a particular loop creates a magnetic field which is more concentrated in the center of the loop than the outside the loop. Stacking multiple loops concentrates the field even more into what is called a solenoid. So this is the actual appearance of solenoid. In figure, capital I is electric current, whereas magnetic field capital B produced by loop current is shown. Now let's see magnetic field solenoid. A long straight coil of wire can be used to generate a nearly uniform magnetic field similar to that of a bar magnet. Such coils called solenoids. Solenoids have an enormous number of practical applications. The field can be greatly strengthened by the addition of an iron core. Such core are typical in electromagnets. In the expression for the magnetic field, capital B is equal to mu small n small l is the number of turns per unit length, sometimes called the turns density. The magnetic field capital B is proportional to the current capital I in the coil. The expression is an idealization of an infinite length solenoid but provides a good approximation to the field of a long solenoid. In figure, the magnetic field is concentrated into a nearly uniform field in the center of a long solenoid. The field outside is weaker and the lines representing the magnetic field are further apart. In diagram, capital I is the current and capital B is equal to mu and L is the long solenoid approximation. So this is the concept of solenoid. Now let's see what is bar magnet. The lines of magnetic field from a bar magnet form closed lines. By convention, the field direction is taken to be outward from the north pole and into the south pole of the magnet. Permanent magnets can be made from ferromagnetic materials. As can be visualized with the magnetic field lines, the magnetic field is strongest inside the magnetic material. The strongest external magnetic fields are near the poles. A magnetic north pole will attract the south pole of the another magnet and repel a north pole. The magnetic field lines of a bar magnet can be traced out with the use of a compass. The needle of a compass is itself a permanent magnet, and the north indicator of the compass is a magnetic north pole. The north pole of a magnet will tend to line up with the magnetic field, so a suspended compass needle will rotate until it lines up with the magnetic field. Unlike magnetic poles attract, so the north indicator of the compass will point towards the south pole of a magnet. In response to the Earth's magnetic field, the compass will point towards the geographic north pole of the Earth because it is in fact a magnetic south pole. The magnetic field lines of the Earth enter the Earth near the geographic north pole. The concept of bar magnet and its respective magnetic fields are shown in this diagram. Now let's see the magnetic field of the Earth. The Earth's magnetic field is similar to that of a bar magnet, tilted 11 degrees from the spin axis of the Earth. The problem with this picture shown here is that the Curie temperature of iron is about 770 degrees Celsius. The Earth's core is hotter than that and therefore not magnetic. So how did the Earth get its magnetic field? This is the question. Magnetic fields around electric currents. So we summarize that circulating electric currents in the Earth's molten metallic core are the origin of the magnetic field. A current loop gives a field similar to that of Earth. The magnetic field magnitude measured at the surface of the Earth is about half a Gauss and dips towards the Earth in the northern hemisphere. The magnitude varies over the surface of the Earth in the range of 0.3 to 0.6 Gauss. The Earth's magnetic field is attributed to a dynamo effect of circulating electric current, but it is not constant in direction. Rock specimens of different age is similar locations have different directions of permanent magnetization. Now let's see what is magnetism. Magnetism is the force exerted by magnets when they attract or repel each other. Magnetism is caused by the motion of electric charges. Every substance is made up of tiny units called atoms. Each atom has electrons, particles that carry electric charge. Spinning like tops, the electrons circle the nucleus or core of an atom. Their movement generates an electric current and causes each electron to act like a microscopic magnet. In most substances, equal numbers of electrons spin in opposite directions, which cancels out their magnetism. This is why materials such as cloth or paper are said to be weakly magnetic. In substances such as iron, cobalt, and nickel, most of the electrons spin in the same direction. This makes the atoms in these substances strongly magnetic, but they are not yet magnets. Now let's see what is dipoles and spinning electrons. An electron spinning creates dipoles as seen in the electron model. A dipole relates to the two poles, north and south, created by a spinning electron. When a north and south pole is present, a magnetic field is created. Electrons spinning clockwise or counterclockwise have reverse north and south dipoles. North poles and south poles are attracted to each other, so in most materials, electrons pair. Pairing means the north pole of one is next to the south pole of the another. Election pairing neutralizes magnetic properties created by an individual electron spin. Pairing magnetic dipoles are shown in this animated diagram. So in fact, magnetism is a physics phenomena created by moving charge. So as far as magnetism or magnets is concerned, there are two types of magnets, which includes a permanent magnets and the electromagnets. The electric and magnetic fields we can have, the electric fields are created by static, that is not moving charge objects, whereas magnetic fields are created by moving charges. The fundamental property that creates magnetism is nothing but the electron's spin. So any material which possesses the magnetic properties, they must have the electrons which having the spins which are depend on the magnetism property. Now let's see magnetic attraction and repulsion, which is shown in this animated diagram. Opposite poles have attraction, that is north attracts south and south attracts north, whereas same poles have repulsion, that is north repels north and south repels south. The opposite pole attraction and same pole's repulsion is shown here in this animated diagram. Now let's see the magnetic lines of force of a bar magnet shown by iron, that is Fe, fillings on a paper. The magnetic field of a bar magnet revealed by iron fillings on paper. A sheet of a paper is laid on top of a bar magnet and iron fillings are sprinkled on it. The needle-shaped fillings align with their long axis parallel to the magnetic field. They clump together in long strings showing the direction of magnetic field lines at each point. The picture is clearly shown the magnetic field of a bar magnet revealed by iron fillings on a paper. The magnetic field lines around a bar magnet is shown in this animated diagram. Magnetic fields are created when you have a moving charge like a bunch of similar spinning electrons in a permanent magnet or a current running through an electromagnet. Any magnet has a dipole, a north and south pole. As shown in this diagram, magnetic field lines are drawn to represent the magnetic fields that would interact with a compass. Stronger magnetic fields are represented by more lines drawn. Arrows are drawn to represent a north to south direction vector. The direction the north of a compass would face any position around the magnet. Now let's see north and south pole magnetic field lines. North to south attractive magnetic field lines are shown in this diagram. When a north pole of a magnet is next to a south pole, the magnetic field you see an attraction in the field lines. The lines are drawn from the north pole of one magnet to the south pole of the other. The direction, as always for magnetic field lines, is away from the north towards the south. Similarly, north to north pole magnetic field lines are shown in this diagram. When a north pole of a magnet is next to the another north pole, you will see a repulsion in the field lines. The direction of the field lines point away from the north pole and field lines from the both north poles stay away from each other. This is all about introduction of magnetism. In my next lecture video, I will discuss about basic terms of magnetism. So please don't miss my next lecture video. Thank you. Below this video, in the description, the link of important information related to this video is given. Please go through it. Please like and share this video and subscribe to Dr. Khalkar's Classroom channel to get the notifications about my upcoming videos. Thank you.